Sturgeon, saying the right for women to choose what happens with their own body is a human right. And meanwhile, London's failed mayor, Sadiq Khan, tweeted, "London stands with women across the United States today." Funny how these right-on politicians tripping over themselves to express their outrage on abortions in the US don't have much to say, do they, about ongoing human rights abuses in, say, Saudi Arabia or China. But there we go. Dawn Neesom, you're angry about this decision.
I am very angry about this. And it's interesting that they can't define 1 minute what a woman is, but then suddenly, you know, women's rights to abortion are to be defended. I am angry with this because I'm of the generation where I actually got to speak to women who endured backstreet abortions before the abortion bill became law in this country in 1967. And if you ever listen to the testimony of a desperate woman that went through a backstreet abortion with a crochet needle in a hot bath of water with a bottle of gin for painkilling, and many of those women died, this will force us back to that situation again, because desperate women will resort to that, Dan. And women died then, and women will die again. And we don't need to do this. We don't need to turn the clock back. And I just feel now that as a woman, everything is going against us. We have fought from the mid-1800s for women's rights, for feminism, and that is now being turned against us. You've got the whole transgender lobby trying to cancel what women are, and we are people with cervixes, we are chest feeders, we are birth givers. No, we are women. And now we have this. We are stopping women having a right to decide what they have to the body. And these are desperate women. No women choose to have an abortion lightly. It's not an easy decision to make. And most women are going to be forced to go back to risking their lives in backstreet abortions. I think it's one of the worst things that I've heard for women in a long time. Very powerful statement from Dawn. But Calvin, you actually do think abortion has become a lifestyle choice for some?
Unfortunately, it does. It has. And I want to start off by saying that we need to teach men that they need to take more responsibility, because it takes two to tango. But we also need to teach women that abortion is not a contraception. And we have seen in this country record numbers of abortions. In fact, if you look at the government stats, there were over 210,000 abortions in 2010, which is the highest number on record in a long time, which suggests that these aren't just extreme cases, these aren't just extreme circumstances. People are using abortion as a means of convenience. So I think it's a great shame, because it's not a women's rights. It's not a women's rights issue. It's actually someone needs to stand up for the unspoken voice, the innocent baby. Someone needs to argue for the life of that child.
And so do you support the overturning of Roe v. Wade?
Absolutely, because what this does, it's not banning abortion. What this does is it takes it out of the hands of the Supreme Court, and it puts it
back to the states.
Devolves the power back to the states. So people who are elected democratically get to decide on the state's laws, as it should be. So the people decide democratically. It's not imposed upon them.
Why should a man decide what a woman decides to do with her body?
It's not about any man deciding what any woman should do with her body.
Because what it's going to do to your body. Why should a woman be told whether she can have the baby or not? That's terrible. That's such a slippery slope.
It's an interesting question.
You're going to stop by banning... You're going to ban abortions.
As I've just said, it's not about banning abortion, so no, first and foremost. But secondly, what's interesting from the left is a lot of people who have been saying, my body, my choice, about the abortion issue, were saying the exact opposite when it came to wearing masks and taking vaccines. Bodily autonomy meant something different then. But this is not about a woman's bodily autonomy. It's not about a woman's right to do things for her body. It's about protecting the body that is independent of the woman. It's about the body that has been created by both a man and a woman.
So can I just clarify, Calvin, do you believe any abortion is acceptable?
That's a good question as well, because I think often when we talk about abortion, we always go to the extremes about rape or incest. We always go to those extremes, but they are very, very rare circumstances. And as I've discussed, the rates of abortion in this country alone, as well as America, have skyrocketed. So it's not about those extreme circumstances.
Well, it's not just about extreme. Just even mentally, if a woman's just not ready, she just doesn't want the child.
So that's an argument I won't take. That's an argument I won't take.
Why? You didn't want the vaccination because you didn't know what it was going to do.
If you stop talking,
she doesn't want the baby because because she doesn't know what it's going to do to her.
Because
that's a choice.
It's a choice that doesn't just affect her. It affects an unborn child. It affects someone else's life as well. So I don't think it's acceptable to say, actually, I'm going to kill this baby just because I'm not ready to have it or I don't want it.
It's not killing the baby. It's within the time when it's a fetus. You know, it's not.
Actually, yes, it's still killing it.
But still, that's up to the woman. Surely, this slippery
I don't think
this is like going. Once you start with this, it's going to go down to another thing and another thing and another thing. It's dangerous, Calvin. This is a dangerous choice.
The dangerous choice is supporting the killing of anyone that is innocent and unborn, has no say.
What about the dangerous choice that women have to make? And you know, many women will be desperate.
That's key.
Will be desperate to have an illegal abortion. What about their lives? Do their lives matter?
No, that's absolutely key. And I think if abortion is the answer, we're asking the wrong question. We need to solve the problems that is driving women to make that choice rather than giving them the choice to kill.
OK.